My name is Edgar J. Steele. It's August 9, 2008, and this is a nickel rant entitled War Alert. This is going to be quick and dirty today. No cute cartoons in the online edition. No philosophizing. We haven't time for any of that today. I believe we're on the verge of the outbreak of World War III. Right now. If I'm wrong, then so be it. I'll apologize for being overreactive later. Too much hangs in the balance if I am right. Treat it as an exercise if you like, a practice for when the real thing happens, because you could be sure the real thing will happen, and soon. For those who follow my writings and know just how right I usually am, be advised that I consider this to be very likely in the very near term, that is, the next week or two, highly likely within the next month or two, and dead certain within the next year or two. I'm uncertain only about the timing, not the outcome. The outcome is worldwide war, of course, and the likely defeat of America. There is a convergence of factors just now that, taken together, suggest something momentous in the offing. Do your own Googling and research to pull up articles. Today, I'm just going to rattle them off rather than tie in URLs for your ease and reference. The single largest U.S./European Union naval armada assembled since the start of Gulf War I now is taking up station just outside and inside the Persian Gulf, with significant battle groups just coming off an extensive joint military exercise timed to end just now. America never will be more ready to take on Iran, or so it thinks. The U.S. has announced its intention to place a naval blockade of Iran. That in itself is an act of war under international law. Never mind that Iran has done nothing to deserve this. Neither Russia nor China, strategic trading partners of Iran's, will take this lying down. Georgia, the ex-Soviet province, now is a member of NATO. We are bound to protect NATO members, don't forget. Georgia just attacked its own breakaway province of Ossetia, which has aligned itself with Mother Russia, despite Ossetia's being guaranteed independence since 1992. Russia has responded with a military incursion of its own that can be expected to include all of Georgia. Was this orchestrated at this strategic time to occupy and distract Russia from an Iranian incursion? Russia is a superpower still, make no mistake, capable of fighting on several fronts. Russia has stated that an attack on Iran, due to Russia's own national interests, will be viewed as an attack on Russia. This is not complicated except in the drug and alcohol-addled mind of George W. Bush. What's more, Israel has just completed a massive military war game exercise that simulated the full-on invasion of Iran. Israel never will be more ready to take on Iran than it is today. American traitor and main Jewish cheerleader for Israel, Senator Joe Lieberman, just called for the invasion of Iran, saying that its rhetoric constitutes a war crime, if you can believe it. Dick Cheney just amped up his own rhetoric and has gone on the circuit plumping for an invasion of Iran. General U.S. anti-Iran rhetoric has gone up significantly in the past few weeks and days. China, perennial wild card, now is on center stage for the world during the coming 2 weeks Olympic Games, with its hands tied. No matter what goes on elsewhere, China simply cannot afford either to move against Taiwan, which is widely expected during the next military overextension by America, or pop up in defense of any country being savaged by the U.S. or its minions. Whatever happens in the next 2 weeks, rest assured that China then will have a free hand to do whatever it wants. China depends upon Iran for a goodly amount of oil imports. Do the math. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac both just announced multi-billion-dollar quarterly losses, along with record losses being reported by most corporations. Together with world events and the dollar's weakening, the foreclosure crisis, massive bailouts on every front, and mounting unemployment, the stock market should be crashing. Inexplicably, suddenly U.S. stocks are soaring. Go figure. Manipulation, of course. More of what they've been doing since 1995, designed to delude American investors and the public in general. Move along. Nothing's happening here. Yeah, right. Well, plenty is happening here, and this house of cards quite simply cannot stand much longer. Oddly enough, though money is being created at a record rate, thereby diluting the purchasing power of the existing money supply, the dollar suddenly is soaring, having risen from the ashes now to stand tall at nearly 76 on the international index. Just a week or two ago, the dollar was in danger of slipping beneath 70 for good. Obviously, the dollar is being artificially manipulated by the government, largely at the expense of precious metals prices, which have been hammered down at record rates in the past few days. The dollar belies its inherent weakness thereby. Again, this cannot long endure. What to do? Buy physical silver and do it now. This is the last time you will see silver in the $15 per ounce range. It daily becomes more obvious just how precarious is the American economy. The bad news can be papered over with market manipulation just so long. Then the manipulation actually accelerates the decline. We are very near the tipping point, I believe. The catastrophic result, Depression 2, now is baked into the cake. Nothing can stop it. Nothing. Traditionally, war is used to distract a population saddled with economic catastrophe, don't forget. The U.S. Air Force's commanding general has just been replaced with a Jew. The Army long has been in the hands of one Jewish general after another, and the Marine Corps' top general was replaced with a Jew recently too. I don't care just how anti-Semitic you might take my pointing this out as being. Facts are facts. Consider how obvious the fact is that our current Middle East warmongering is in support of Israeli, that is, Jewish interests. Now there is no chance whatsoever that American military units will act against Israel's interests. I think the possibility of Obama being elected has the powers that be scared, in that they cannot be certain that he will dance to their tune. This accelerates the need to do something while Shabbos Goyim George W. Bush still occupies the White House. Next, look for a U.S. aircraft carrier to be sunk, with all hands on board lost. This is the classic ploy, just as in all past wars. Sunk by Israelis, most likely, but blamed on Iran to provide the pretext for a coordinated attack, which is the oldest, most obsolete carrier now on station in the Gulf. That's it. Like all the obsolete iron left out to dry by Roosevelt in Pearl Harbor prior to World War II. America will lose a symbolic asset, while the key will be the loss of life. About 3,000 or 4,000 dead Americans is the way they think now, in order to get the American public on board in full outrage. The full complement of one of our carriers today. Expect some incident within America, possibly just as homegrown as was 9/11, to justify the imposition of martial law. Prepare your children for the prospect of a national draft. What to do? Get out of the cities. I've told you this time and again. If I were Iran, I would have prepositioned nuclear weapons throughout the U.S. at strategic locations, most of which coincide with metropolitan areas. Keep in mind that Iranians are not Arabs. They are Aryan. They cannot be expected to roll over and react with nothing but rhetoric, as we have seen before, most notably in Iraq. Stock up on food and water. It is too late to order from the dehydrated food suppliers, though I have just received an order from Alpine Air, thanks to the good folks at www.homestylemercantile.com. Call them and see what they might be able to do for you in whatever time might be left. Go to your supermarket, stock up on canned food and dried foods. Put as much away as your funds and storage space will allow. A year's worth is not out of the question. Keep your vehicle gas tanks filled and fill up some spare 5-gallon containers with fuel as well. Have your route out of the city planned and embark upon it the moment you hear of anything untoward. Though prices have risen dramatically and supplies are much curtailed, get the other white metal, lead, well stocked, along with several weapons for self-defense. Get ready for a possible viral pandemic, similar to the 1917 Spanish flu. This means be prepared to quarantine your family for weeks, if not months. If, after all preparations noted above, you happen to have any money left at all, convert it into anything silver or gold. The dollar is toast. How will things go for America? Badly. Reread Defensive Racism for my take on things, which so far are playing out just as I have foreseen them. Good luck, and God bless us all, every one. I'll see you on the other side. New America, an idea whose time has come.